Welcome to Book Thots, brand lifestyle podcast. We are thoughts for books, and these are our thoughts on books. I'm Emily.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Adriana.
Three sisters stripping down one book at a time. Today, we will be reviewing chapters 38 through 44 for part 6 of our 10-week journey through Heat of the Everflame. Everflame. Today, we'll be reviewing chapters 38 through 44 for part 6 of our 10-week journey through Heat of the Everflame, the third book in the Kindred's Curse saga. Is that a burp?
No, I was going to say before we jump in, and I interrupted you.
She wasn't done yet.
I know, but I'm like jumping the gun, man.
I thought you were burping.
I need to lean up in the mic for that, guys.
I thought you were doing a joke. I thought you were doing a bit. I thought you were doing a thing.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thots after all. So we are going to be using adult language and talking about adult topics. Please pay attention to who may be listening near you. Additionally, this episode will include spoilers for all 3 current books. Each episode, we will focus on specific chapters, but our conversation will include the entire series. So if you haven't read it, today's episode is sadly not for you. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Emily and I will be mispronouncing names and places. Adriana is going to try and keep us in check.
Try.
Also,
I'll do my best. Good luck.
I apologize for my voice. I apparently will not be healthy this entire fall and winter season. So
I think you might need to go see a doctor.
I did.
No, like an actual doctor about your allergy. Maybe get back on the allergy shots or something.
I don't think it's allergies.
I think she needs to go to the doctor for her allergies. She used to take allergy shots. I'm not saying
You
what
and
you
I
have
both
now is
need
allergies,
to.
but I think it is like the gateway drug to the rest of your sickness. It's bringing your immune system down to below average, and then the other stuff gets in.
I mean, it's a solid theory.
Adriana will be stripping it down for us. Not really. She's just stripping down the chapters. Man, do we wish she was stripping it down for us.
Mm-hmm.
So strip it down, girl. Strip it down, girl.
Chapter 38. Let's kick it off with a quote from the end of this chapter that really summarizes the gut punch you are going to feel reading this one. Quote, "The dread that has been quietly pacing in the depths of my chest reared its ugly head and roared with all its might. I dropped the blade and clawed frantically at the fabric, yanking it free of its chest, and I screamed. Only it wasn't a scream. No sound came out at all, because it wasn't my voice. It was my hopes, my joys, and my every happiness fleeing my soul all at once." We'll save and return to that later. Fighting the urge and courage to go confront Luther about how Diem truly feels and stop fighting this thing between them. Knocking on his door, she hears him rustling around inside. Apologizing for the late hour, but wanting to discuss what's been on her chest and mind, all the while Luther thinks she's figured it out and he's running out of time. Quite literally. He too also needs to confess. Luther looked disheveled and his clothes were sticking to his sweat-soaked skin. Looking around, Diem noticed how messy the room was and even some gauze is laying out. Unlike him to not be tidy and put together. She finally tells him they need to talk, calling him out for how different he's been this last week, how withdrawn he's been even with her. In Arboros, and then after the explanation of the compass, things have changed. Diem started to believe he was worried about Taryn, and his feelings for her had changed. He claimed he wanted her in Arboros. Then shared moments of triumph we got between them was short-lived. But every time she got close, he pulled away. And then there was earlier today, when she saw those women leaving his room. Luther is quick to tell her what she saw wasn't what it looked like. Diem asks, "Are you sure?" Because it looked to me like he was keeping a secret from her, either because he's trying to protect her or afraid of her reaction. Struggling, Luther finally admits, yes, but not for the reason Diem thinks. She reminds him how much she hates secrets. They made a promise of honesty to one another. She's not perfect either, but she's been trying. Diem lets it all out. No explanation from him is going to change how she feels. He tries to tell her he understands and will accept whatever she's decided, but there's something she should know. But Diem doesn't let him explain. She continues to tell him that she's trusted him from the very beginning for reasons she didn't understand. She's believed in him even when she despised him for what she thought he did to her mother because he made her feel safe, always protecting and guarding her, not just her body, but her heart and happiness. He gave her hope, and lately that hope has felt like it's been vanishing. She knows she's made some mistakes, and it's probably the reason he's pulling away. But he just reassures her it isn't that. None of this is her fault. Trying to wrap her head around it, she just starts to ask, then why? She pulls his face to hers, placing a finger over his lips as he's saying her name, wanting to explain. She admits when she realized why he challenged her, she swore to herself that she wouldn't doubt him again. A promise she's been trying to keep. She talks about how her father told her that loving someone doesn't always mean brutal honesty, that you don't have to see all of someone to love all of someone. At first, she didn't understand, but she believes she's starting to. Quote, love isn't contingent on never keeping a secret. It's about trust. It's about standing together even when you don't understand and never giving up even when things get hard. On page 359. Luther's eyes go wide. She steps closer until their chests are pressed together, his hands around her waist, pulling, folding her in, becoming one. She tells him that he told her she was the queen worth fighting for, but he's also worth fighting for. Forehead to his, she says, if you don't want to be with me, tell me and I'll let you go. Pressing a soft, tender kiss on his lips, she admits that she doesn't really believe that this is what he wants. Wordlessly, he wraps his arms tighter around her, and as her hand travels down his torso and crosses his hips, his body shudders, hunching in on himself, and a loud, painful groan. He collapses. Diem reaches for him and then realizes with horror that her hand is covered in a blackish red liquid. Luther's bleeding. He's wounded. Apologizing for failing her, she reassures him that he hasn't, but asks what happened at the bathhouses to have caused such injuries. All he says is not the bathhouses. Arboros. Fucking Arboros. Again, that first quote from the beginning is entered into here, and it is that sudden realization of, oh shit, like what is happening? Luther might be dying. Low on his hips, wrapped in gauze, soaked through with dark oozing blood, the surrounding skin was swollen and infected. Black veins spread in every direction from up to his chest and circling his necks. His necks? He has multiple.
So many.
These were poison black veins. Godstone. Oh, Luther.
Oh my gosh. This chapter was so hard to get through, man.
It really was.
Was it hard because of Luther's sick or hard because she wouldn't let him talk?
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
a
guess
little bit of
hard
both.
in more than one way for me because I was crying, but then also I was frustrated because obviously he's standing there barely alive
Yeah.
and she still doesn't get it.
Like swaying on his feet, trying to like just be like, yeah, I'm good, even though he's like sweating.
You don't have to pick up for me. What? No. Oh my God.
I like to go back to her advice that her father gave her when she's like, my father told me that loving someone doesn't always mean brutal honesty.
Yes.
It's like, do you really want to mimic your relationship after your father and your mother's? Is that what you're going for, Diem? I don't think that's what you want.
That's not who you are.
No.
That's not who Luther is.
Yeah.
That's not what this relationship is.
Maybe every relationship doesn't need brutal honesty, but I know my relationships, I would like it.
I mean, I get the concession that she was making. I get
Yeah.
it because there was too strong of a pull for her to let anything between them go.
Right.
So she was willing and there.
Compromising.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not who either one of you are. So
Yeah.
just be real about the situation and realize that he's, decaying from the inside out.
Accept it.
His forehead's really sweaty. He's still in his turtleneck.
He's
Like,
hot to the touch. He's got gloves on.
Oh no, I'm not even a healer and I can see it.
The-
I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor.
It's when she's kicking herself for like completely ignoring all the signs of being like,
He tried to tell me.
yeah.
He said I was going to be alone. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
It's
the
like
readers,
a highlight reel.
all the readers
Yeah.
going,
Uh-huh.
yeah, we picked up
Yeah.
on that.
And I'm glad that like they were finally communicating, even if she technically was trying to get things off of her chest and not letting him interject and explain himself. But like you should have at least let him try to explain, even if you were pouring your heart out. Maybe just be like, okay, well, here's how I feel. What's your response? Versus like just gunning for it and be like, nope, you know what? It doesn't matter. My mind's made up. I'm going to show you.
Yeah. Also, your blood is the cure. Just saying. It's quite obvious to everybody except you guys for some
Yeah.
reason.
God.
It was also gut-wrenching. You're right. It was a tough chapter, especially when she talks about how she like made a scream, but no sound came out at all. Because I think everyone has either experienced that scream or has done it themselves, and it's not fun.
Not a good time.
No, not fun at all.
I did like that she was finally acknowledging again her feelings for Luther, but also realizing like the safety she felt with him all along, even when she was pushing him away, when she was blaming him for everything she hated about the Descended, but never really acknowledging that like he was the one that stood by her through it all.
If he wasn't dying, this is a great conversation.
Yes,
this is couple
exactly.
101.
Yes.
You did great. The sad part is he is dying. He's close to death. He's at death's door. And that does skew the conversation a little.
Just a little bit.
On the success of it, or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super proud of Denial DM.
Yeah.
For-
Acceptance. Or what did we call it? Cognizant queen.
Yes,
Here
our
she's a
cognizant,
cognizant queen.
she's making an appearance and she's doing it all on her own.
All on her own. Right now, it's oblivious DM because she's cognizant, but also she's not in denial. She literally just hasn't even caught on that he's ill. So I don't think it's denial. I think it's literally just like
Ignoring all the signs.
lack of awareness. I don't
What-
know.
I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't right now.
Camouflage DM?
Like, I'm proud of Luther for
Oblivious.
hiding it, but at the same time, I'm like, you guys made it through
No.
this much
No.
and nobody noticed. You were falling back behind everybody when they were leaving. You've been weakened up to this point. It's not just exhaustion.
If he would have been honest from the get-go, I think things would have been better, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say, but like it would have been better relationship-wise
Yeah.
for all of them. They're all like having to accept that he's probably going to die in 6 seconds because he's like, oh, I didn't want to be a burden.
I've been
Ooh,
moody
that's
this
so
whole
much
time,
worse.
but really, it's fine.
Yeah. If you're dying from Godstone, just be honest.
Just let me in.
Just let me in.
I don't know. It was just so. I think you said something when we were talking about it, like on the phone. You're like, I mean, I kind of get it, like his explanation. And I'm like, no, I can't.
I was just saying, like, this chapter makes me not hate him as much. Like, not in these moments. In these last couple of chapters, I've not really liked Luther. He's been showing some red flags by hiding this. But in this moment when he's at his weakest, he's like a little puppy with like a broken leg. So you're kind of like, well, you did jump off the cliff, so it's your fault that you have the broken leg. But you are still a puppy with a broken leg.
Yeah, he's a baby Luther.
Yeah.
Like Daddy Luther is still there underneath the
Baby
decaying.
Luther? Decaying Luther? There's
decaying.
decaying Luther, Daddy Luther, and Baby Luther.
He's got the puppy dog eyes. He's like, I love you so much, DM, but I'm dead.
Yeah.
Remember how we told each other we were going to be honest and not keep any secrets? Well, minus that for just like
Yeah.
a few chapters.
I was
Mother of
actually
all
lying when I
secrets.
said that.
Yeah. The entire time I needed to tell you, but really I'm dying. Literally dying.
And you're going to have to move on really quick and go lead a nation to
Yeah.
safety.
You're the
so,
chosen one.
Oh, that just made me
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
It just makes me think of a quote from Alexander Hamilton where they say,
Oh, yeah.
death is easy, living is harder.
Mm.
Yeah. And Luther, I agree here. Alexander Hamilton.
We'll-
Should we
we'll-
just sing the whole
we'll be
musical right
putting it
now?
on right now.
We're going to do a bonus episode and it's just us reenacting all parts.
Chapter 39. Well, this all makes sense now. Luther fixated on getting back to Lumnos. All the things he previously said. It should have been me. Will you ever forgive me? We don't have enough time. So many signs and warnings she ignored. But as a healer, she should have recognized his pain and desperation. His fever and possible infection? Diem is desperate to get Luther back to Lumnos now. She reaches out looking for Taryn, screaming his name, afraid he won't hear wherever he is. But a light comes on beneath his doorway and he cracks open the door to see Tiam's.
Shorty, you a 10. You a 10.
But a light comes on beneath his doorway and he cracks open the door to see Diem's tear-soaked face and instantly knows something is wrong. Diem tells him it's Luther. They need to leave now. But the queen won't let them, so they are going to have to run. She asks if he knows where Elix is, and it's Zalaric who answers from behind Taryn from the bed. He saw her with some centenaries before they left. He will go find her and be discreet. Diem knows that if she is the one to go find Elix, she will leave a bloody path in her wake. The queen knew and still requested they stay. When Taryn and Alix finally arrive to see Luther in the state he is in, all emotions break loose. Taryn's anger that Luther should have left him back in Arboros. Taryn at first accepts his oath to protect Diem at all costs, but then rescinds it once Diem shouts, no. If he wants to have her protected, he can live and do it himself. Diem has called Sarai, but the journey will take a while. She points out to Zalaric that he should leave with them. Otherwise, Yourcel may punish him. He is reluctant at first, saying that there are people that rely on him, and this is his home now. After Taryn begs for him to come with them so he isn't constantly wondering if Zalaric is going to die too, Zalaric is open to thinking it over while he helps them prepare for their departure. Diem makes a new batch of poultice to dress Luther's wounds, while Alix, Zalaric, and Taryn all gather their belongings. Luther's wounds have progressed to the point that even lightly touching his skin has him writhing in pain. Still blaming herself for not recognizing his injuries sooner, Diem is quiet with her thoughts. She strokes his hair until he finally falls asleep. Fearing the worst, every time she's left the room, she rushes back to check on him and sees that his chest is still rising and falling. Taryn shows her the letters that Luther prepared for them all. She tells him to burn hers but save the others. Taryn ignores her request and throws the letters in their sacks to bring them back to Lumnos. Before tossing the compass in the bag, he gives it to Diem, telling her that Luther would feel comforted if he held it in his hands, knowing he can always find her. Alix returns and immediately is consoled by Diem, sensing her same fear that Luther has succumbed to his injuries. Diem informs her that he's just sleeping. Alix sits next to Luther's bed and asks how close is Sarai. They all can feel the heaviness of how much time they possibly have left and the journey it will take to get back to Lumnos, not to mention the fear of sneaking out undetected and not causing a war. But through their shared bond, Diem can sense that Sarai is only halfway. She is glimpsing the sea and Corel to her left. Sarai is afraid she won't make it in time. At least it will still be dark when she arrives and they can slip out under the cover of darkness. Taryn is still affected by the flame root he had at dinner, but the rest are willing to put up a fight if it comes to it. Diem wants to stay behind and let the others leave. After all, Yourcel wants only her and still has information for her. It could buy them time to get Luther home. But Luther's protest is one no one will be able to persuade otherwise. He is dying, and his last wish is to have Diem by his side until the end. He begs for her to not take that away from him. They need a landing zone for Sarai, so they all head to the Queen's private dining room. Zalaric admits that if he goes with them, he will not hide who he is, a half-mortal Hanaver. Diem can't promise his safety, but promises that he has a queen as an ally. I highlighted in this chapter that question that basically Luther, I think, is the one who asked her about how, if it's right to lie to someone, when death is coming. And I find that ironic that it was at that moment him accepting his faith, but seeing what her answer is and realizing, even from a healer's perspective, he still didn't change and tell her right then and there. Change his mind and tell her right then and there.
You find it interesting that he didn't do that?
Yeah.
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 That was his chance. He was kind of feeling it out.
I felt like her answer also was you should tell them.
I did too.
Yeah.
She did say something about the loved ones needing hope, if there is hope too.
Yeah.
But I think he didn't do either one.
Right.
He stayed in limbo. He didn't really give her hope, and he didn't tell her the truth. He kind of became a turtle.
Yeah.
A turtle. He just
went inside his shell, but still sitting in the middle of the highway. Just waiting to get
just
hit by a car.
waiting. He gave up.
I like Diem's attitude in this chapter as well. She's like, burn the letter. I don't want it. I feel like I might be that too. Just I'm so upset right now. You better burn that letter. Even though I will regret it, you better listen to me and do what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was perfect. And Taryn realizing that she would regret that later. So yes, I'm just going to ignore that wish, my queen, and put it with the others. We'll come back to this later. But it was him acknowledging that Luther had been preparing for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any good friend would have been I'm just not going to, you are not to be reasoned with right now.
Yes.
I'm not going to listen to what you're saying.
I was also really excited when naked Taryn answers the door, and then Zalric's in the bed
I just
behind
picture him with
holding
the
his
sheets
pillow.
up like all curled up.
I picture him with the pillow just hiding the
Yeah, Taryn
the
at the
goods.
door, just the pillow. Another heartbreaking thing is when DM like connects with Sarai and she shows her where she is, and then DM shows her Luther and like lets
Yes.
her know the feelings, and Sarai's like, no, and then
Yeah.
starts flying faster.
I know. All she has to say is come and then hurry. I was like, what a bond to be able to just mentally say that. And then Sarai's like, okay, on my way. Like, I'm going to go as fast as I can.
Yeah.
And then also when you get here,
Night, night, book thoughts.
when you get here, I'm going to need you to carry at least 3 more people than your usual
Yeah.
load. So better buckle up, Sarai.
And be prepared for a battle once you arrive,
Yeah.
because there's no avoiding it at this point.
I'm starting to think that this circle of land is not really that much land. She just travels. Sarai travels for a few hours, and she's already in another realm.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge world that we're in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's rather small. It's
Yeah.
a Southwest direct flight, and you're in another realm,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. If Sarai is Southwest.
No, Sarai's Delta.
Oh, okay.
Sarai is definitely Delta 1,
Okay.
specifically.
She
She might be private.
She is.
Yeah, she's
She's
private.
definitely private. I just think DM and Sarai could not be a better match.
Their
Yeah.
bond is pretty impressive, especially once we've now seen some of the other remaining Gryvern and their queens or kings or whatever. Like, I do like the Umbros one and his queen, but I don't feel like we get as much of an animated, because we're not in their head, we're not in their bond, we're just seeing it from DM's perspective. Like, we have no idea like their strength and their connection versus like in Fourth Wing, for example. Like, we kind of have an idea of everybody's connection a little bit more.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I think the queen definitely was using Luther as a test for DM. And that's why she said
yeah.
3 days, because she knew how hurt Luther was, obviously, from the second he stepped foot in
Mhm.
her realm. So she's like, I know he's probably going to die in 3 days. We'll see if she chooses the knowledge of saving the world over the man that she loves. And this is a test. And that's all it was to the queen, was like a
Right.
game to save humanity. So a game worth probably playing, but also,
I
Like-
think it's a game that she's played too.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about how
Yeah.
she probably had to make really tough decisions and that wears on her. But it does not make me like her that much that she, like, I don't know. You meet DM, you probably can tell from the second you meet her, this is a woman that's going to choose the people she loves over everything else. Yet you still played the game to see if she would change.
Well, she
It
had
would-
to play her part, Ems.
Yeah, I feel like
She had
That's
a part to
hard.
play too.
I think it would have been easier to be like, hey, Luther's dying. Just go back to your realm. Pretend you don't know your blood is the answer.
but I think she didn't believe that there was a cure. I mean, I don't think the Umbros Queen knows that the cure for Luther is DM's blood. Unlike DM just being kind of like
I don't
ignorant to
know.
the fact that her
Maybe she doesn't, but she knows how precious DM's
Yeah.
blood is. She's smart enough woman to be like, this is worth a shot. Like,
She tells her this
Yeah.
is what the war is going to
This
be
is
fought
your-
over.
Yeah.
It's a blood war for this. Why is that
I
so
don't
angry today?
know. The on air sign today is livid.
she has anger issues, just
Yeah.
like we all do at the moment.
Yeah.
It's DM's temper coming out.
I do find it interesting that it said that the only skin untouched by the poison's reach was the spot above his heart, the same patch his scar had, like
Yeah.
mysteriously had
Because Mother
missed.
Lumnos is protecting
Yes.
him. She's like, this is my chosen baby.
Yeah, it's baby Luther right
It's
there.
baby
Yeah, it's baby
Luther.
Luther.
I love. No. Oh, I could have helped you.
It was really easy for me to get.
My shoulder's out of place.
Those are the one things I cannot handle in like movies, where like it's somebody reaching quickly to like help somebody falling off a cliff, whatever kind of such a scenario, and it's that like shoulder, like
where their shoulder dislodges?
yeah, where they're just like holding them, and I'm like, you know what? That's what would take me out in real life. That's the one time I'd be like reaching for you, trying to hold you, and then my shoulder would give out, and I know I'm good.
Does it like popping your shoulder out? Does that like that bothers you? Like the thought of it? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's just because of my shoulder, like always having issues, like that. It just like it's one of those like, I can't. I can
That's
relate too
funny.
hard with that one. But so you just saying it's like we don't talk about word.
Oh, her Achilles.
Yes.
Ah,
I wasn't gonna say it.
why?
It's worse if you say snip snip.
Oh my god. Okay, who has seen House of Wax? Because that's where
House of
everything happens.
It's been like ages.
It's a horror film.
Mm, okay.
No, I can't.
Should
even.
I pull up the scene?
Please. You can for you too. I will just like become.
You might have to like
It
take
is
your headphones
crazy though that people can like if they are holding on to their loved one off a cliff, even if their shoulder pops out, that they can hold on for
As long, yeah.
hours.
Like
Yeah.
the Grinch hearts grows 3 sizes and then he.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your shoulder stretches 3 sizes.
Oh, mine just popped. Did you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Was it your shoulder or your elbow?
Was that elbow?
Okay, there's a difference. We were talking about shoulders.
Children.
You guys are being evil to me. I haven't.
I know
even,
Jenna didn't ask for this,
haven't
by the
done
way.
anything.
Move on. Chapter
All right.
40.
Chapter 40. Their plan was in place. Aleeks.
Wait, hold on. If I ever wrote a book, I would put a scene in there just for you.
I'd never read it.
Yes,
would
you
never
would.
warn
her
If I
either,
wrote a
that's the
book, even
point.
if that was in there, you
No,
would read it.
no.
Yeah, there would be no warning.
Yeah.
It would just be the next sentence, and it would start with snip, snip.
The
And
whole
he never
chapters.
ran again.
I hope you do get that book out in the world.
Yeah.
It's called.
It's called Achilles.
It's just different scenes.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of short stories where everyone dies.
It's from everyone's
so how-
perspective of watching it happen.
Chapter 40. Their plan was in place. Aleeks and Zalaric would prevent the group from being seen. Diem would be the only visible individual if any of the centenaries sensed them nearby. She could just claim she was visiting the Queen's library. Something the Queen had said lingered in her mind and just didn't sit right. An open invitation to visit. The Queen knew she was dying, but still she gave her the key and told her it was open to her anytime. Was this to help Diem find the information she needed even after the Queen was gone? She also admitted to Diem that she would be the enemy of her successor. Diem is worried what will happen to her mother since Yoursel's vote was the only thing preventing them from executing her. Conflicted on what to do, stay or go, she knows she does not wish to leave Luther's side. She turns to the stars above and asks for advice. Aleeks joins her on the balcony and can practically read her thoughts out loud. The boys aren't going to just let her stay behind like last time. Diem explains that she doesn't want to leave Luther, so she will go. Knowing this decision isn't easy for her, Aleeks offers her support. When in the distance, they hear wings. But it can't be Sarai. She's still about an hour away. They run to warn the others and hide. Well, shit. The Umbros Gryvern landed on the Terrence.
Terrence, no. Terrence! He was squashed by the weight of the Gryvern.
immediately dead.
Dead.
Immediately.
Had no chance. Terrence gone.
Terrence on the terrace was squished by the terrace.
The Talons.
The talons.
The Talons got Terrence on the terrace.
Ooh, the talons got
Ooh.
Terrence. That's hard to say. Okay, continue.
Well, shit. The Umbros Gryvern landed on the terrace, sniffing where Aleeks and Diem had just been standing. Diem sends a silent prayer to her godhood to help them, but it's almost as if her magic just stared back, waiting for something. The Gryvern's head turns in the direction of the balcony and dining area that both Taryn and Luther are hiding in. Blood drips from where they are shielded and hidden, giving away their location to the Gryvern, and before he unleashes his dragonfire, Diem steps out of the curtains, revealing herself and distracting him from attacking the others. She expresses her intention to leave and not wanting to harm his queen, asking if he too already can sense her dying and a new crown to come. But too little too late, because Sarai just saw you over her queen and got protective. With betrayal in his eyes, the Gryvern screeches loudly, notifying the whole kingdom, and then leaps to go get your cell. Diem yells after him that if he loves his queen, keep her the hell away from her. With Zalaric guarding the barricaded door, using his magic to hold them back, but not for long. Everyone else rushes to where Sarai lands and starts working on getting Luther and Terran and Alix mounted. Diem orders Sarai to return them safely home to Lumnos with or without her. Luther yelled for her the entire time until her figure was too small to see in the distance. Simon walks in and confronts her, saying like his queen's going to be upset with her, and then she tells him to like back off. Diem has him in her chokehold, basically, or ensnared by her magic, and she's like, release him, dear. And she goes into telling her that like she needs to stay, she needs to let them, she basically let them leave. And this is where she says, he is growing stronger every day. Soon you will not be able to stop him, and if you don't, the entire world will fall, and so will everyone in it. Our mystery villain, or aka her daddy.
But that's Ursula saying that to Diem.
Yes.
Yes. Ursula tries to convince her to stay one more time, and then Diem proves that she's actually stronger to Ursula in front of her henchmen. So then that
makes her look weak.
Yeah. So then it's game on.
Game on.
And then she jumps off
Diem
the balcony.
dives off the balcony.
Do you think that since the Queen of Embers knew of her fate, and that the possibility of Diem's betrayal gave her the key and access to her libraries with that open invitation to seek the answers, that she wouldn't be able to get in time, I guess?
I think that the Umbros Queen has seen two outcomes. I think she's seen where Diem stays, but she knows there's a possibility that Diem goes. So I think she leaves her the key and the open invitation, knowing she's going to be the one to inherit the crown ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that her centenaries now know that she's given Diem the key and accepted Diem already, then the centenaries will also accept Diem.
Even if her successor is her enemy, basically, which we all know is Simon.
See, I personally don't think it's that deep. I think it was still just a part of the test as a whole. If Diem becomes queen of the realm, she's going to have access to that library no matter what, right?
Yeah, I just think that...
Unless it was a way for her to have access through Simon, because Simon could still try to deny her, maybe?
Simon doesn't have access to the library. He said that the queen doesn't even allow that, so Diem must be special. So I just think that that was kind of a way for the queen to show her subordinates that Diem is accepted.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Yeah, even though she basically kills her. Does the queen die in that next chapter? I can't remember.
Well,
It's when they're flying, basically.
We don't get confirmation in the chapters that she's actually dead.
Yeah, we
It's
just
not
know
till
she's
later.
going to be dying. Wait, did we get confirmation that she does die for sure?
I thought we'd do later.
I don't remember
The
ever getting
purple fire comes up and burns both her and her Gryvern, and they fall to the water, but there's no confirmation that they're dead
Yeah,
yet.
we know we need death receipts in order for it to be real.
Yep.
I just thought later on in the book, Simon basically confirms it because he's the now crown.
Simon again?
I thought we did. Like I said,
I don't think
we'll have to keep
she
reading.
becomes the crown. He doesn't.
Not even, Diem's the Umbros queen.
yeah.
She's the successor.
She gains the successor.
Yeah, because she's eventually going to be queen of all of them. That's why when the queen is talking to her and is like, you know my next, you're going to like not get along with my next person. She's talking about Diem.
Okay, I thought she was still talking about Simon and there was still a battle, even though Diem is gaining all the crowns. I thought
as soon as she's
her
dead,
crown still passed on, basically.
No, Diem gets them.
No, it's the crowns all work the same. It passes on to the next strongest person or whatever.
Well, all of the
thank
kindred.
you for reminding me.
All of the kindred are choosing Diem.
Yeah.
They've come to a consensus.
They're like, you're the one we will leave our fate in, basically.
Because they made the mistake in the past.
But the Umbros Queen is talking about who I think is Diem's father, right?
Yeah, we still don't know who Shadow Daddy is.
Okay.
Yeah, that is 100% who she's talking about.
She's like, he's gaining power, he's gaining strength, and you have to gain the knowledge to stop him. And this is the only way you're going to do it. And she's like begging her to stay and learn all this information. But at the same time, playing her game and not giving it to her.
Right.
Like, you're going to have to make a choice. You can't have both. I don't know why she can't have both.
I still love the Umbros Queen. I don't know why. I just love her.
I do too.
I can't be convinced otherwise.
She's good, but also, like, yeah, that is so frustrating because it's still her. At dinner the night before, Diem failed the test. She said she was going to do everything she could to save everybody that she loves, and she would sacrifice herself to do it. So here, even again in this conversation, I'm just like, I don't know why you're still testing her. She failed. Like, your test, done. Might as well just give her all the answers right now.
I don't know. Maybe there's like something where she can't though.
Or there's
I feel like she would have.
If I tell you, there's a book I'm reading right now where the main character, is given a book that tells the future, and in the book it says if you read ahead, that will skew everything. You can only read at the event that you're currently on because you'll try too hard to change the other events.
Right.
And I feel like that maybe is like something here where the Umbros Queen is like, if I tell you everything in a specific order, you'll try too hard to jump to Z before you even get through A and B.
And I think also because she knows that she will try and save everybody. And I don't think Yrcel realizes that, like, is she capable of doing it without the knowledge or the training or how she can accomplish it.
Yeah.
I think she has faith in her, but also she's like testing her, showing her that there's going to be consequences in this war and you have to be willing to sacrifice and you have to be willing to know that you are going to lose the ones you love in the process.
All I know is if I had a book that told me the future, I would not be able to wait chapter by chapter. I'd read that whole thing. I'd disregard that memo and just be like, yeah, there's no way this is just going to sit on my bedside. You're telling me it has the whole future in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read that.
I don't know. Would you read it immediately?
It would be tempting. Like, that would be hard. I don't know. I want to believe I can do the marshmallow test, but at the same time, like, that's a lot of knowledge. Is it chronologically, like, laid out? I don't know, because I'd be, like, skimming it at that point, trying to be like, well, what do I need to know out of this?
Let's say
What's to come?
DM has this book right now, and she knows, like, she's on chapter 2, and she knows in it she'll have the outcome of what Luther is, and, like, there could be something that heals. So you're saying, like, if Garrett was in that situation and you could potentially look at the next chapter and just, like, see if there's a solution to heal him or something, you wouldn't go to the next chapter?
It's your blood, Jenna. It's your blood.
What if reading it causes it to change and then I don't get to save him?
Yeah, that's 100% the point of this book that I'm reading. It's saying, like, if you do that.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I don't
think
know.
the temptation would be too grand.
I don't know. I don't know if I could do it.
So you'd fail the test.
She would pass.
Oh,
we would fail.
We would fail the test. Okay.
Girl,
well, as long as I have somebody with me,
I'm thinking I got the willpower.
You can do it.
I'm not sure because Garrett dying there. Nah.
What if it came down to your children?
No, I gotta save them.
Jenna's burning the book so that the temptation isn't there.
I might. I'd be like, no, I can't live with this because it's too much responsibility.
But see, that's the thing in this book. It will be like the next chapter will actually have like the key to something else. So it's all intertwined. It's interesting.
Chapter 41. I love the opening quote of this chapter, so go check it out. The difference between falling in love, chasing love, fleeting love, and unconditional love. Loving someone rather than being in love with someone and having those feelings reciprocated. Learning when to walk away from the wrong kind of love and when to nourish and grow the right one. Diem stepped off Yrcel's balcony into free fall, but Sarai's talons were there to grab her with a hilarious and screaming Luther, yelling, "Are you out of your fucking mind? 2 more seconds and you would have been dead." Smiling, Diem explains that she trusted her Gryvern to catch her and didn't share the plan with the others in case one of the centenaries read their mind, but this was her plan all along. She had to stay behind to try and convince the Queen of Umbros to let her leave and come back for her mother's sake too. But unfortunately, she wasn't going to let her just walk out. Her people's lives were now in jeopardy and it would have made her look weak. For just a fleeting moment, they had peace before hearing a loud, piercing shriek and finding Yrcel and her Gryvern on their heels. With Sarai already hauling so much, this was going to be difficult. They needed to put as much distance as possible. Alix and Zalaric worked on using their illusions to shield them, but the queen and her Gryvern were no fools. Knowing they were still up in the cloud space with them, she yells out that Diem isn't the only queen who will do whatever it takes to save her people. To return with her now, and no one will get hurt. Diem uses a bit of her shadow magic to craft swarms of beasts at her, but her magic is still unmastered, and so they are only wispy shadows, but it does the trick to annoy Yrcel. With the Umber's Gryvern unleashing attack after attack, Diem's godhood is roaring to be unleashed. With her outstretched palms, she is able to cast ice into a wall against the dragon's flames. Luther and the others notice that she can wield all the kindred's magic. Supportive Luther connecting the dots and cheering her on during this battle. Even with all her power and unleashing of her different kinds of magic, she was finally realizing how much Luther loved her, how much adoration and affection he had for her, how much he supported her and never let her be anything less than who she was meant to be. He was her strength, her everything, and she was losing him. She would not give up, so neither could he. Using her wind to throw Yrcel and her Gryvern into a freefall, they catch their breaths but are watching the skies for any return of the Umber's queen. Luther says to Diem how much of a gift she is to everyone she meets and to the continent and all its people, but most of all to him. How he regrets not going to be able to see all that she becomes and does. But of course, our girl isn't having this, and reminds him it's them together or nothing. Just when they thought they were free of the queen, there's an attack from her Gryvern and a cackling Yrcel. Both Diem and Alix fell off Sarai, but Terran is able to grab Diem's wrist once Sarai descends. It's Alix now falling at a fast rate and too far away. Diem yells for Sarai to fly faster and uses her wind magic to help slow her down as Terran is able to grab hold of her and pull her back up onto Sarai's back. The Umber's queen warns one last time. Come back with her now, or she will lose them all. Unrelenting, the queen takes her power and uses it to control Terran, using him to keep Luther in a chokehold and controlling Alix and Zalaric to begin falling off the back of Sarai with glassy-eyed expressions and frozen states of being. Diem threatens her to let them go or her reign will end tonight. With her hands full, Diem does all she can to grab Alix's wrist quickly and uses the wind to push Zalaric back up. But Luther is starting to lose color. Terran's eyes are wide and staring directly at her. A blinding flash of light fills the sky with a wave of heat and the smell of burning flesh. Blinking, Diem doesn't know why she hadn't felt that magic being called. Had she used it? Yrcel and her Gryvern covered in a lavender flame, screaming and falling towards the sea. Free from the queen's control, they are able to secure everyone back on Sarai and make their way towards Luminos.
Okay, so does she lose the jar of lavender flame here?
When everybody gets jostled on the back after Yrcel and the Umbros Gryvern hit them,
Yes.
the bag falls and the jar falls to
So then
to
what
the
does she
sea.
release? Because you said she releases that flame at the... Or is that she goes and just pays her respects at
I
that
can't.
spot?
Well, I thought she had the jar with her and released the flame at the spot.
Yeah.
But it could be that she's just there.
Paying her respects.
Yeah, I don't
remember.
I don't
so
remember if she gets to catch the flame again.
I didn't
or
even
if-
remember her doing that, so...
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe I made it up.
No, I think you're right. I just, like, once again, reading this book, I read it so fast the first time.
Yeah.
It's like reading it new all over again. But when it said she dropped the jar, I was, like, waiting for them to say it. But then Diem
I
picked
was
it
too.
up.
I was like the whole time. I was like,
yeah.
after it burned them, it came
Came
back.
It
like, where are you, Montios Gryvern?
That's why I asked if the gods answered, because I was like, she dropped it, but why were they covered in flames still? She's still wielding that power.
Well, the Gryvern fire is like alive.
Mm-hmm.
So once the jar busts on the sea and it
She can
releases the
command it.
fire, and it's called just like Sarai is called to aid its queen, because remember, she technically it hasn't been totally spelled out for us yet,
Right.
but she's wearing the Montios crown
Yes.
already. So that's her Gryvern. And so her Gryvern's saving her.
Okay.
She's commanding.
Because I
that
remember she used
fire.
it one other time when they were still running from the Guardians.
Yeah, she actually has already used Montios when she was in the in the
desert?
first fire that the Guardians set off,
Yes.
she used Montio's power to cool herself, like before she had any crown.
Is that what you're talking about? I don't think that's what you're talking. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
in that scene. It's like it's when she was like running from one of the guys that had the Godstone arrow.
It's not that. It's a later time. She uses Montio's power again.
Yeah.
She's already used.
She's used it a few times.
She's
but
used
that,
all the powers.
that
almost.
flame
Yes.
specifically is what I was more referencing because I thought she uses the ice and she uses
That
the
flame is the dragon, though. That is not hers.
She doesn't
Okay.
have the purple.
I
Yeah.
thought she can still call for it though, like you said.
Yeah, the flame in the jar is the dragon's flame that she has power over, but that's not Diem's power.
And that's why she didn't feel it when
Yeah, because it's like when Sarai comes and uses her Gryvern fire to shoot it at the Guardians, and it burns Vance's arm off.
But it doesn't burn Diem.
yeah.
That's the same thing that's happening. The Montio's Gryvern is said to be dead, but its flame was still captured in that jar, and Diem bought it at the market.
Right. Okay.
So
I guess
then
I just
it
didn't
got
realize that she wasn't the one controlling that power. Or I thought in this sense, if she didn't control it, it was the gods calling that flame of that dragon fire.
She is controlling it. It's just not.
I'm
That's
so
not her.
confused.
It's not her. It's just like when she calls Sarai to use Sarai's flames to burn somebody.
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing that's happening
It's-
here. She's calling the dragon's flames to burn somebody.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
also sentient, so
It knows that she's in
it
danger.
knows that she's in danger, and
Yeah.
it's gonna do whatever it can to protect her.
But
Right.
it's not like those flames are coming out of Diem or they're coming from the gods. It's left over of the dragon that's already dead, but the flames still have like the spirit of the dragon in them, basically.
And will respond to her.
Yeah,
Yes.
just like if it's the exact same thing of when she's like telling Sarai to come or she tells Sarai to burn somebody. She has power over Sarai, but Sarai's fire is not Diem's.
I don't know why I read it differently both times then, because I really thought it was the gods basically answering, like the
No.
gods being able to wield that and
No.
not just
That's just like when
that she'd
they're
already dropped it basically.
when they're in the market and they're shopping for those flames
Mhm.
and the guy like tries to take the jar from her and all the flames react.
right.
It's the exact same thing that's happening here because
Okay.
she is the one that has power over all of them because she is the queen of it all.
Do you guys
good to
remember when I
know.
complained about the Gryvern fire being blue, and you both said it was probably because it was the hottest? The Gryvern fires are their realm colors,
Yeah.
which
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Was that
such an
this-
idiot.
Was that this book?
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like
okay.
earlier, I think,
Yeah,
in this.
I don't remember if it was this book specifically, but it's this series, and I was like, "Why are Sarai's flames blue?" Oh, it's because its Lumnos is
yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
Like every Gryvern's fire is the color of its realm.
No, I'm reading your questions now, and it's all about the lavender fire. It's probably why we just took 5 minutes talking about it. It's literally, did the
Sorry.
gods answer? Bright lavender flames covered them. I don't remember that. The sky illuminated. Like-
I needed to have that explained because I misunderstood it.
It's
And
just
I'm glad
good.
that that makes sense now. But like I really did. I really thought that was the gods basically kind of intervening.
in a way,
Intervening
it's
in a way.
always the gods at the end of the day.
Always.
When the Umbros Queen says, "You're not the only queen that will do whatever it takes to save her people,"
Yeah.
I think that that's just another clue that she's playing into the fate or the future that has to happen.
Yes.
Like, she doesn't necessarily want to go do this because she knows it's going to be her downfall, but it's also going to help spur Diem on.
I
So
think
she's
so too.
doing it.
And
Well,
gain
she
her
truly-
the crown.
She truly thinks all the fates are sealed. So
Chapter 42. Reaching Lumnos, Luther's condition has deteriorated significantly and has rendered him unconscious. Their flight into Lumnos reveals an alarming number of soldiers present throughout the city, more than when they left. Once landed, they strip Luther of his clothing to get a better look at his wounds and find the progression of the poison taking over most of his body. Diem sends for Mora and has Alix fetch her using Sarai to be faster and avoid all the soldiers' checkpoints. Teller, Lily, and Eleanor all are thrilled to hear she's returned, but their moods quickly sullen upon seeing Luther. Mora arrives and does everything she can to offer healing and medicine to Luther, but there's no sign of anything working. Remus, his wife, Ivana, all arrive following Lily and Teller back. Noticing his son's condition, he is actually showing a fatherly side to him. A heated argument between Remus and Diem when she wants him to leave after confronting him of knowing about how Luther got his scars and the mistreatment of all his life, the abuse that he suffered. But without his magic, Remus expresses he is still his son and wants to stay. It's only when Lily begs for both her parents to stay does Diem relent on allowing it. Worn from exhaustion and the fear of losing him, Diem is asked to go rest and wash up by Mora, while she looks after the prince. But Diem won't back down and is too afraid to leave him. Eleanor takes her to sit with her and distract her for a while. Much later, Mora has done all she can and slips Diem a vial of a powerful sleeping draught to give to Luther if his condition worsens. This will slow his heart rate and ease his pain, allowing him to drift away peacefully.
The only thing is this the chapter where Luther's dad meets
Yes, Salaric.
Yeah, Salaric, because I think that's
Yeah.
important. That he's like, a Hanovere, like, you're going to get eaten alive here.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, Taryn steps up for him.
Yeah. He's like, are you out of your mind? Like, do you realize what the Hanover, like, house is? She's like, yes, with the stained rose and blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. But he's here and he's under my protection. So get with it.
Yeah. And you don't have any magic, so.
Yeah.
And
Shove it
basically all the crowns, or not all the crowns, all the houses are like going to rise up against her anyway after the challenging. So like this is just her saying he's under my protection. They can't do shit.
I think still this chapter has a quote in it that just backs up the fact that I think she's going to die and burn. And it is, fire that would receive him if I failed, the undying fire of the sacred Everflame, the final resting place for worthy souls.
I know. I thought that was important too when I heard that. Because I was like, it's describing the Everflame tree again in this burning, constant light that people get to go to if they're worthy.
And the next book is called Burn. So some people are going to be burning under the Everflame tree.
Burn,
I think
burn,
that some
burn.
person will be Diem and Luther. I hope they
Well,
die together.
there's a redheaded dude at the bottom of it burning for all eternity, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that her
no,
father?
the redhead's just like leaning against the tree eating an apple is what I picture.
Eating
Johnny
an apple
Apple?
seed. I love that.
Yeah, just like kind of like arms crossed, you know.
Just waiting his time.
Just like leaning against the tree like, yeah, I'm here. For some reason, that's how I picture like an old school drawing.
I do too. Like, you want all the answers? I got them.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming out the flames.
And you want to try this apple? Don't do it. Doesn't end well in other books.
How does she not remember that her blood and tears are magical? Girl, I know you only remember using the water for Mignios, but let's do some more remembering of instances where your blood has been the key and remembering that you accidentally got some in the poultice that you made for Taryn.
I don't think it's remembering, though. I think it's realizing. She has nothing to remember because she doesn't know the power of that. It's
How?
realizing.
She uses
That it would be
every time.
It's so
Every time.
frustrating that Mora doesn't like sit her down and be like, okay, so you healed Godstone. Tell me every single thing
Yeah.
that you did in the poultice. And
But
then,
She's human.
she does admit every time that when she's recounting that, she overlooks that her blood spilled in.
And in the back of her mind, the being cured from Godstone is a game of luck. So she's not even thinking that maybe she did anything. She's thinking maybe Taryn is lucky. So she just has not realized that her blood is the cure. And when she cures him, she still doesn't know that that's it.
know.
Yeah. I don't think this book ends with her not knowing that that's what cures him.
I know, which is so fucking frustrating because it's even in her mom's effing notes. It says Diem ?
I read that for like 10 minutes straight and did not understand how that, like, what she was connecting. I knew she was saying, like,
It's
Diem's blood is the cure, but the way she wrote it, I was like, I feel like there's deeper meaning here, and I just am not
it's like
grasping it.
literally right next to possible cures in the margins. Arlie has written Diem ? Flame root Kirill ? Like,
That's in the next chapter.
are
It's
you
Diem, Kirill,
effing
Godstone,
kidding
death,
me?
life, ? But what could it mean? What does it mean?
You know, honestly, every time I see that in the book, I'm like, You know that when Penn was like writing all of this probably was like one of her notes that she was like working through the
Oh,
chapter.
yeah, like
and
a
she was
real
like,
note.
this is perfect. I'm going to add this right here for a little bit of like
It
a
honestly,
mystery.
I hope
Probably.
that's true.
That's
I
that's
hope
so
it
cool
is,
to
but
think
that's
about.
what I envision.
Yeah. I just get like a little bit worked up. Just a little bit worked up about
Tiny-
this.
I think-
teeny tiny bit.
I think this is the chapter too that she like reaches over and heals all the remaining like notes of that Godstone wound from Taryn. Even all this, doesn't she like reach over to his arm or something and like
I remember her touching Taryn.
She
but
heals his hands because she blistered his hands, but it wasn't from Godstone. Is when he was choking Luther, his hands got blistered because it was either her or Sarai were trying to like get him to stop choking Luther when
Okay.
his mind was under the Umbros Queen. And so she comes over and heals that.
Okay. I thought there was still like a lingering part of the.
She might have reached in and like checked. I can't remember if I read that. But she definitely later on she reaches in Luther and like checks everything with her magic. So
Yeah.
it would make sense that she could feel it in Taryn as well.
I love them together. They just need to. You're right. If they're going to die, they need to die together.
Yeah.
Chapter 43. Promising to tell them the minute anything changes, Taryn, Alix, and Zalaric all leave in search of a hot meal and a bath. Diem is changing Luther's dressings every hour now and poring over her mother's notes with no help. There's nothing there for a remedy except the strange scrawling of Diem, Kirill, Godstone, death, life, ? But what could it mean? Talking it out with Teller, she's thinking the only thing that grows on Kirill is flame root. But something deep within her tells her it's another dead end, just like when Taryn offered to go get water from Igneos. Something obvious staring her straight in the face, but she's unable to decipher it. I just want to shout, "You're the cure, Diem." Teller knows about their mother being alive and now captured. Diem informs him it's true, and that she, Arlie, is the leader of the Guardians, and what Diem plans is to help get her out of prison. You can imagine how well Teller takes all this news. No more lies, remember? Only honesty. But it's Lily who comforts her and tells her how even she knows Luther has done the same for her when he thinks he's protecting her. Teller will come around and she will talk with him for her. Lily admits how happy Diem has made her brother, and that's all she could have asked for even in the face of death. Choking up and needing a minute, Diem excuses herself and starts walking towards Luther's bedroom. There she is met by Eamon, who comes to tell her he's sorry to hear about the prince. Eamon has only tried helping her, even holding off on the execution surrounding the progeny laws. Diem wants him to prove he is honorable and that his intentions aren't one-sided. She uses his blade to extract a little blood from her finger and is able to gain entrance into Luther's room.
I don't understand why it's Diem and then Kirill. Why is that next to each other?
Well, remember that's where she was born.
Okay.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
it's just reference. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've deciphered it completely, but I think you're right. I think it has something to do with like her have already being there.
Remember that it's like the mothers traveled to the island to have their babies so that they could.
Yeah.
And then Diem actually was born there.
So is Godstone born from death?
Well, we haven't gone over the chapter yet, but remember Alix finds Godstone at the site of Diem's home where she like had her huge magical explosion over her father's dead body. So her magic plus the death created Godstone.
That chapter is coming?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my theory. So Diem's magic plus the death, that's where the Godstone was created.
Interesting.
And so I'm thinking that Diem's magic plus her blood is how life is created.
Oh, I like that.
That's my theory.
And I read this so fast the first time that there's so many things I'm slowing down for, and I'm still obviously missing because you're explaining countless things to me. But I feel like there's just so much she has laid out, and I'm impressed that she's like literally ending this in 4 books without dragging it on, but also like giving you so much information and still leaving you at the end of the 3rd book being like, we still have so much for the 4th one to actually be a banger.
Yeah.
I still think there's more to Eamon that meets the eye. I think he is trying to be a different person, but also is one to lurk in the shadows and see the chessboard before making his move. This conversation just reminded me that he may have moments that render him being nothing but a snake, but I don't believe we see or understand all his intentions. I just feel like Penn is trying to give a little bit more depth to his character.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being good, but then he's going to die as they realize it.
Yeah.
I think Taryn's going to have that hard. I think that's going to be a part of Taryn's journey, is realizing, oh, yeah, my brother wasn't as bad as I thought he was. And then as he's realizing that, his brother's going to die.
We finally get to see, like, DM confront him about the kid that he killed in the street. And he...
Yes.
Obviously, something was going on when he was running on that horse.
And it
like,
wrecked him.
Yeah, he didn't know that he hid the kid. He didn't know that the kid died. But I think that there was something life-threatening happening to him, too. And why he was running on the horse is going to be, like, a huge part of his character. And he stayed all the executions of the half-mortal children. And he tells DM that.
It's like,
What
I
do you
don't
think
like to
he-
basically murder innocent children.
What do you think he was going to warn DM about? Because there's a part where he's like, I was only trying to help you if you had talked to me.
Oh,
And
that's
instead of attacking me, I could have warned you.
That's
before.
when, yeah, when they're all in the place after. There's a spider.
Get it?
I got it.
Okay.
That's when they're all in the room after, I think it's after DM's dad dies. And it's after Regent Remus takes away Luther's titles and has given him to Aemon. And
Oh, he's
Aemon goes
referring
and
to that.
grabs her arm. And she reacts poorly, and everybody else reacts poorly, and is like, don't fucking touch her. He's like, I was only trying to take you aside so that I could tell you all of this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
Which was our theory.
Yeah.
He just went about it in
Not the best
not a
way.
great way.
Yeah. He was kind of being a dick, too, because he was like, I think I'm owed a moment of your time and stuff like that. So she just reacted, like, negatively. But the problem was is he was just trying to be like, hey, we need to talk. We need to have a quiet counsel for a second.
His character is to be like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he was trying not to arouse suspicion in the way he was treating her.
He even talks about, like, the pressure that he's constantly under from his dad.
But I do like that DM points out, she's like, listen, Taryn and your relationship is not over. Like, you need to revisit it and be...
He's going to need you now more than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chapter 44. Inside his chamber, she is recounting all the time she was falling for Luther and letting her guard down. Realizing their spark had grown to flames started there after the armory attack, when she was brought there and showed her his smiles and laugh and care. When he trusted her with his secret, helping the half-mortal children and their families escape. And blessed Luminos herself, her statue there for an offering, a prayer. Diem begs to Luminos to save him, for her to be the one that suffers and not him. She would give anything, even fight in this war in Luminos' name and honor. Just don't take her, Luther, from her. She's offered her bloodied hand as a blood bargain when she finally notices the blood tears running down the statue's eyes. She's staring at the statue's tears when she's jarred away when Lily is yelling on the other side of the door to come quickly. It's Luther. Rushing to his side, they see that he's convulsing and the godstone poison has spread even more. In this scene, she is rushing for Perth to basically go retrieve Alix and Taryn and basically say their goodbyes because she's like afraid he's dying. Like, this is it.
I don't think she's rushing. I think she's coming to peace with it. I think, isn't this when she's like, you need to go get him?
She grabs the vial from the desk.
Oh, that's
and
what I meant
Lily's
by
like,
rushing.
what is this? And she's like, well, it's a way to help him go peacefully. And Lily is like horrified, but then also is like, yeah, that's what he needs. Like, I don't want him to continue to suffer, and gives the like nod to DM, and DM goes to do it. And then she suddenly remembers.
Yeah, she notices like the compass, and the compass was like pointing to that vial, which was like the big clue, I guess.
Mhm. I don't think it's technically that vial that it's pointing to. I think it's pointing to the blood on her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she smears her blood over the compass, it glows,
Right.
which is showing her that it's the answer. I do think that it is very, very good that she had grabbed that vial from Arboros
Mm-hmm.
and shook it so that the audience that sees it
Thinks it's the
doesn't
vial.
realize it's the blood either.
Yeah.
She doesn't realize it's the blood, but also Nobody else does.
Nobody
Fuck
knows
you, Remus.
anything about her blood except maybe her mother, and that is it.
I think Vance does too.
I do too.
I think
Oh,
something
yeah.
happened when he was holding those vials and the
That's true.
Gryvern fire hit him. I think he knows that it's special in some way, which is not great for DM.
Because she
I
even
think-
like reaches into the vial to like get all the remaining
And
pieces.
she's like shaking it out,
Yeah.
and it's mentioned that her blood splatters
Yep.
into the wound, and she's like, it's crude and it's ugly, but it is effective.
We're saving Luther. That's all we know.
Well, we hope we're saving Luther.
We're
doesn't it?
saving
We don't get
Luther.
to know yet,
Yeah,
man.
no, we don't. But that's the kind of.
I don't
cliffhanger she
understand why
loves.
the statue has blood tears.
I
Is
think
it Mother Luminos like
I-
trying to give a hint, or is she crying because that's her person?
I don't know if it's remorse that she's losing her favorite disciple. I don't know if it's trying to give DM a clue that it's her fucking blood and like, get with it, girl. Like,
yeah,
let's go. You're being a little dense.
Now we're gonna use the compass to show you.
And I also don't know if it's her accepting the blood bargain that DM offers and the
I thought
power.
so.
Like, when you make a prayer to the kindred god, you offer
Yeah.
up power. DM describes filling the entire room with all of the Lumnos power that she is able to give.
Yeah.
Like, she still gets to use it after that. We see her use the Lumnos power again, so obviously she doesn't take all of her power.
yeah.
But if the blood bargain is broken, does she lose her Lumnos power or all of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she also, once she throws the vial on him and everything, she says, I feel a slight tingle on my wrist. Like the
Yeah.
blood pact has taken effect.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
we
felt
think-
like it was her god still answering. Well, her god isn't Lumnos.
it's
but-
Lumnos saying that she accepts the blood bargain, but what part of it?
And will that be a positive or a negative thing? Because blood bargains are usually negative.
That's
if
what
I've
I'm-
learned anything in reading, it's never
Yeah.
make a bargain ever.
She will fight this war in Lumnos' name and honor. And that was like one of the last things she says when she does feel that.
She also asks to take all of Luther's suffering onto herself.
Mm-hmm.
So
And let it be her, basically.
She's kind of making bargains willy nilly.
life for life, death for death.
Till death do us part. Okay, we're about to lose the camera. So do you guys have anything else on that chapter?
Nope.
I have a spotlight. Penn Cole's book is on the list of the top 100 most anticipated books for 2026. With that being said, she has not said that that's for sure when she's going to release it too. The camera quit, so no one's going to see
Damn.
that. Jenna's thumbsing down. So it's anticipated. She posted on her Instagram that she, like, obviously if you hear that there's a release date, unless it's from her, you don't trust it. If it's
Right.
Reddit saying that it's her best friend and she knows for sure, still don't trust it. Only trust if Penn Cole is saying when her book is being released.
Because that's not her best friend anymore. If she's going to sell out like
Yeah,
that.
on Reddit.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, you
I
don't.
mean, she's taking her time to make sure that this is done in a way she feels proud of. And I can respect that. Even if it kills me to wait this long, it'll just mean that there's so much to basically revisit once I get my hands on
and
it.
I hope it's a chunk. I hope it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I hope
It's
it's
gotta
it better be.
a hefty girl. Fan theories. I would just say like probably the biggest fan theory from this episode is what
No,
you're shaking your head, so I feel like you should answer.
I just felt like the life is blood and the
Yeah.
Godstone is death and magic, and that was what I thought
if
you were
you're
going to say.
you're at home and you're wondering what fan theory you should come up with, just come up with one with blood. That's probably in
That's
this
probably
book.
the
That's
answer.
best case scenario. And that Vance is evil and he's going to do something evil with her blood.
Yeah, he definitely knows that there's power in it, and he assuredly is going to give it to her father. So
He's up
let's
to no
see
good.
what the father does with the blood, because that's going to break him free even more, probably.
Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be going over chapters 45 through 52 of Heat. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Tune in every Friday on YouTube or wherever you get our podcasts for a new episode of
Book Thoughts.
And maybe one day we'll get a camera that goes for more than an hour and 26 minutes.